Welcome to my channel. In today's video, I'll take you from the birth of Jesus to the Sumerians. If you're ready, let's begin. A man who would change the world in times when kings were as powerful as gods. No one knows his story completely. Christians called him the Son of God. Muslims believed he was a prophet. For some, he was simply a man embellished with stories. If you're curious about what lies behind the legend of Jesus, get ready. Because this journey stretches all the way to the gods of ancient Egypt, the miraculous tales of the Sumerians, and the narrow streets of the Roman Empire. 2,000 years ago, the Roman Empire, the world's greatest power, ruled all Mediterranean countries, and the emperor had ordered a census to be taken throughout the empire. In the province of Judea, a woman named Mary set out to participate in the census and spent the night in a stable, where events unfolded that would become a turning point for humanity. That night, Mary went into labor and gave birth to a baby boy named Jesus. But this birth was a miracle because Mary was a virgin and no man had touched her. She had never been with anyone. Both the Bible and the Holy Quran state that Mary gave birth to Jesus while she was a virgin. Because Jesus was born without a father, Christians will refer to him as the Son of God. Most Christians believe that the prophet Jesus was born on December 25th, and today it is celebrated as Christmas. However, such a date is not mentioned in the Bible or any other source from that period. The designation of December 25th as Jesus' birthday is based on the spread of Christianity in the Roman Empire. So why December 25th? To understand this, we must first go back 6,000 years to the Sumerian civilization. Tammuz, the Sumerian god of the sun and fertility, dies on December 21st and is resurrected 3 days later. This resurrection is celebrated by the Sumerians on December 25th. Now let's move on to a topic that is at least as interesting. First of all, the number 12 has been considered special by peoples since the earliest times of humanity. For example, in Sumer, a day consisted of 12 hours. The god Tammuz traveled to the end of the world in 12 hours, and again in Sumer, there were 12 zodiac signs. In ancient times, humans modeled the calendar as we know it today. They determined the time for planting and harvesting crops, and the seasonal cycles based on the positions and brightness of the sun and stars. When a certain constellation appeared during the sun's movement across the sky, we had moved into a new zodiac sign. Imagine looking up 6,000 years ago and seeing shining objects in the sky. It was quite normal for humans, unable to make sense of this sight, to attribute divine qualities to the stars and the sun. According to the Sumerians, a god resided in each constellation. Ultimately, no religion created by prophets can be shaped independently of the culture of the society in which it exists. The Sumerians were such an influential civilization that the 12 zodiac signs and 12 gods they created have retained their influence to this day, despite changes in form and meaning. You will often see depictions of Jesus with the sun drawn behind his head. Since ancient civilizations, the sun has been considered a divine figure due to its brightness and impact on human life. Therefore, the same element has found its place in the figure of the prophet Jesus. Now let us turn to the death of the prophet Jesus. The Roman Empire did not interfere with the beliefs of people belonging to different religions and allowed them to be judged according to their own religion as long as they did not become politicized. They did not intervene in the case of Jesus because they saw it as an internal matter for the Jews. When the Jewish people to which Jesus belonged demanded his execution, the Roman governor Pilate declared, I find no fault in this man." However, due to the insistence of the Jews, it was ultimately decided that he would be crucified. According to Christian belief, Jesus of Nazareth was executed on a cross bearing the inscription, "King of the Jews," and was killed. But after his death, miracles occurred. He rose from the tomb where his body had been placed 3 days later. He appeared to many people. Here, one of the most prominent mythological elements in the story of his death emerges. In the tradition of temple priestesses, which originated with the Sumerians and continued in Jewish society, these women dedicated their lives to the temple and were seen as the wives of Adar and the gods. Therefore, they were forbidden to have children. This was because any child born to them would be considered the child of a god. Mary, whom we know to have dedicated herself to the temple, was expelled from the temple after having a child and instilled in her newborn the belief that he was the Son of God. Friends, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. See you in the next video.